So the moon's still out, and over there is Garven, and I'm going up Meall Dearg, which is just over there. So we've got to go up through that saddle, across a big burn, turn left, up to another saddle, and then just follow some fence posts up to the top, and that'll bring me out in the middle of the Aonach Eagach ridge. There's plenty of snow around, and the rocks are a light colour, so that suggests everything's frozen, which I should imagine it is, because the van was frozen this morning. So this is the start. Just park on the high road, lay by a bridge. Path starts here. Yeah, tons of snow. So this part of the path is usually really boggy. You can see my van just over there. So it comes straight up through here. Through here. The bottom of Garven over there. The path goes up and swings around the corner there. And it picks up a track. It's quite a big track, but it's not marked on any OS maps. So don't be surprised. Right, just a little way in now. Just going to level off for a little while. Go around the hillside. On the left, top of Garven, there's a saddle we need to go to, and that ridge there is the our way up Meall Dearg. When you get to this point, there is a path junction. You go left, takes you up Garven. Go straight on, takes you into the quarry. So 20 minutes in, and I'm on a good track. That over there is usually a big waterfall, it's all frozen. And then at the back, over there, another waterfall, that's frozen too. And then our bit, let's go head over here, cross over a burn. We're going to go up the right hand side of the burn onto the saddle, and there's a cairn around that point there. It's going to be a beautiful day. See if I can find some columns. Ground frost. These just grow underneath the surface when the temperature drops quite a lot, and they grow upwards and they give these nice little columns lifting the earth. You'll get the same in your garden. There's a few of these little streams to cross, but not too many. The path here is a little bit vague as it heads around there, around that side, but if you look beyond, you can see the good track, and then you can see the trees at the bottom end where the van's parked over that way. So there's no real places you can go wrong in here, other than watch out for that big burn down there. You don't want to be walking next to that, particularly higher up. It's just hidden around this little ridge coming down, but it's a bit of a gorge and it will drop you off into it. For that there, that's our hill over there, Meall Dearg, and we're just starting to see like the end of the pinnacles on Aonach Eagach. So this here is our main stream crossing. Basically we need to cross this. It's a bit icy, but looks doable. We need to get across this and we'll head up the right hand bank up onto the saddle. Just right of the low point there is a rock. I think that's pretty close to where there's the rock. It's pretty close to where the cairn is. You can get up this hill on the left hand side, but it gets rough, it gets steep, bouldery. It's actually much easier on the other side. If there's loads of water running down in here, it does run you off down into the big burn at the bottom. I'll be tempted to go high rather than low to cross. Theory being there's less water. So the best tip I can give you for crossing stuff like this, try not to stand on the rocks or the ice. Go for the rock, it's just underneath the water. It cannot freeze. It might be lichenous, but it won't be frozen. Huh, someone's built a cairn. So 1 hour and 10 minutes in, and I'm here already. So there's the main falls, springs out onto a plateau. There's a locking up there, so I've probably got about another 15 minutes. Now I should have more extensive views. So there's the boulder, just there, one I was aiming for, lower down, and there's a cairn just over here. I think that's it, just over there. Yeah, there it is. So that's Meall Dearg, just up there, and them jagged bits, they're all part of the crazy pinnacles, Aonach Eagach, and then you got the hill in the sunshine. This way you head over towards Scrambling. I do apologise if I've got my pronunciation wrong. There's Kinlochleven down there, and you can see all of our route. Right, so when you're crossing this flat ground, just be aware there's little areas of bog, and they're quite deep, some of them. That one there is quite obvious. But you're heading over into that sort of direction, and over there, they're all snow covered. And if you do fall in one of those, you need to turn around and go down. If you keep going up, your clothes aren't going to dry, they're just going to freeze. So what I've done today is I've done a rise and traverse just to get away from that wet boggy ground. The ridge itself, the main ridge, starts just over the back there and heads up over that side, and once you get to a line of fence posts, old fence posts, you just follow them. But I'm heading up across. I don't know if you can see it, but there's plenty of ice around here. The snow's not consolidated, but there is ice underneath the snow in patches. So I've gone and put my crampons on. The idea is put them on before you need them, not just after you need them, and it also gives me more scope to move much more freely. So now I can use the ice to my advantage. Luckily I thought about bringing a pair of axes, so I can have a little play on the way up. Hare tracks. So 2 hours in, and I'm at the fence posts. So these are like every 10 metres apart or so, and they go all the way to the summit of Meall Dearg. So even in really bad visibility, poor conditions, these are easy to follow. And it takes you down that ridge over there, and then there's a small circle of them. Then you can make a decision whether to go right and follow that stream out. It takes you down towards the West Highland Way and turn left back to Kinlochleven, or go left and drop down the side of Garven back to Kinlochleven, where I parked. So even if you are attempting like the Aonach Eagach and you need to bail, this is a safe way down. It might put you a million miles away from your vehicles, but it's much easier than descending the south side or reversing the route. So that's your choice. Way over there is Blackwater Reservoir, and in the far distance, can't zoom in because I'm wearing gloves, that's Schiehallion, and that, I believe, is where contours were invented. So that's the start of modern map making. The Garven is looking particularly nice today. So over there, Stub Barn, and there, with its own cloud, it's Ben Nevis. Here's Garven, it's the one that's in my back garden, and you're heading out for that one there. That's Scrambling, that's the last Munro, and the Mammals, and then the hills just go on and on and on. I think I'm about halfway up this ridge now. We're going up to about 950 metres or so. Garven is 865 if I remember right. So we're going a bit higher than that. That's a good judge of our altitude. I'm guessing we're about 800 up now. So that's part of the crazy pinnacles on Aonach Eagach. You're looking at there, it's the fun bit. There's Stub Barn. Ben Nevis is in the cloud. This little one here, this is Garven, and the long ridge of mountains behind it. It's the Mammals. It's 10 Munros there. Brilliant hill walking. Visibility is just amazing. So still following the fence post. Finish the steep stuff and you come up onto this flat area. There's the summit over there. Crazy pinnacles and Aonach Eagach. And in that direction there, it's the Chancellor. It's all part of the Aonach Eagach Ridge. And that one there, it's another Bodak. It's where you start from. That big lump over there, Stub Dearg, part of Kinlochleven more. You've got the big ridgeline runs across the back. That's all part of it as well. Classic UK hill walk. What a day. Nice. There's a raven. It's got to say hello. So here we are. Fence posts. Don't want to be following those fence posts. So I'll take you over and back onto the Aonach Eagach ridge. Need to get off that way. There's the pinnacles on Aonach Eagach. It's Aonach down there. And here's the summit. Meall Dearg, Munro, Ink. There. Oh, that was stiff in this snow. It's all slabby. I can see one set of footprints on Aonach Eagach. Yeah, there, that hill there. Stop going and locking. There's a lot of snow on that one. Bidin and Bian is behind. And there's the Three Sisters. So on the left there is Ben Nevis, long hill. In the middle is Aonach, short ridge. On the right is Aonach Eagach. It's like dark ridge or something like that. Wow. Super nice today. Super nice. It's really tempting to go across the pinnacles there, but I haven't got appropriate boots for that one. No helmet. And no one will know where I am, so maybe not such a good idea today. But I am here for a walk, not to go mountaineering. And that long paddle over there, that's Loch Moor. Apparently that's the best freshwater fishing in Europe, I've been told. Okay, time for me to sit down, have some food. So a good little tip I can give you for really poor weather, whether it's summer and it's raining hard or you're getting close to whiteout conditions in winter, blowing a blizzard, and you're going down the same way you came up. What you can do is you need to start from a definite unknown point, i.e. the summit. And what I often do is I use my poles to mark the direction of travel. So the first one here, this is where I turn and walk towards the other pole, and that will put me in line with the fence posts. So there's no messing around. It's dead easy to do. It's a very simple trick. And I use that one regularly, whether I'm working up on Ben Nevis, where I've been there like 400 odd times, or just about anywhere else, where the weather isn't quite so So nice. But yeah, good trick. So place the poles in your direction of travel for your descent. Clouding up now. Time to go, I think. Collect up my poles. Off we go. So on the way up, I was looking for the more shallow snow, so it was easier to walk on. On the descent, I'm going to aim for the deeper snow to reduce on the impact and the chance of tripping up on a rock, because all this snow is pretty soft. I've only found one patch of neve, about a square metre of it. The rest of this is just powder or slab. So it's my tracks, reassuring. And I see a post. So, time wise, yeah, it took me exactly 3 hours from the road to the summit. And I was taking plenty of opportunity, photos and filming. So I could probably knock 20 minutes, maybe half an hour off that time. Yeah, just spoken to Monica as well. She's out on the Meall track with Alex, trying to get up to the snow line. They're having a nice day, and might be a bit of a race on, see who can get back home first. I think she'll win. So, back down now. Phone battery died on the descent, so I'm doing this at home rather than on the hill. So ascent took 3 hours, descent took an hour and a half. Big difference, but on the way down I had no battery, so I couldn't do any filming, none of that stuff. On the snow itself was slabby all the way, one little patch of neve, quite a bit of ice. I put on crampons on the main part of the ridge, just as precaution really. There's a lot of ice lying around underneath the snow, so I didn't want to be sliding around on that. The descent, I kept the crampons on all the way down. All the turf is frozen solid, and all the ice is running across the path is wet and slippery, so it's a bit rough, but it's good. Yeah, very enjoyable day out. So 8:36 I started walking this morning, back home at 5 to 2. Dead easy day, recommended. I forget to mention it all the time. Monica keeps telling me off all the time about it. Always forget to say, please like, subscribe and share.